Whoa guys, slow down and hold on 1 second. I want to talk to you guys about something really important today. It's something that can literally affect the rest of your life with such an important decision, all depending on the timing. I'm talking about the age at which you get married and how it can either positively or negatively affect the rest of your life. Now I know some of you want to say, well, I'm old enough to make my own decisions, or we're so totally in love, I don't want to wait. But seriously, just hear me out, just for a few minutes. I'm going to give you some facts that may or may not blow your mind. Now, I personally feel like the biggest problem with marriage today is people just rushing into it and not even thinking about it, as well as not giving themselves a chance to really live their lives. But there's actually a lot more to that. Now, I know people say age is just a number, but did you know age at marriage has for decades been the strongest and most unequivocal predictor of marital failure? Young marriages are almost certain to fail with poverty, education, and even one's own health working against them. Now I know some young couples may last until death do us part. It's rare, and the odds are highly stacked against them. Now I'm sure all of you guys have heard that at least 50% of marriages end in divorce. But have you ever looked at the breakdown of young marriages and the percentage of those that end in divorce? The 2010 U.S. Census data estimated that 25% of women and 15% of men will all be married before the age of 23. Of those marriages, more than 20% will end in divorce. 70% of those who are married before 18 will end in divorce. And of those who decide to get married in their mid-teens, 80% will get divorced. And it's really more common than you think it is. Now I guess the question is, why do people make the decision to get married so young despite those statistics? Maybe some of them don't know. But some people say that they're so madly in love that they can't wait to spend forever with their significant other. Others have a more educated hypothesis. Now Gordon Dahl states that teens have time-inconsistent preferences and projection and biases, meaning teenagers have no real sense of long-term goals or consequences, be it positive or negative. This also explains why some teens engage in risky activities involving drugs, alcohol, and unprotected sex. Now, couples who do decide to marry young are at a much greater risk for living in poverty. And the signs of poverty aren't immediate, but they take some time to show. Those who do marry young are 31% more likely to live in poverty than someone who is to wait at least a year or two to get married. So even if it's just a year or two, it would still benefit you to wait. There's also a pretty strong correlation between those who marry young and the level of education that they receive. Typically, those who wait to get married have a higher education rather than those who rush into it at an early age. Now, research shows that women who marry before the age of 19 are not only 50% more likely to drop out of high school, but also 4 times less likely to graduate from college. Wow, those are big numbers, guys. Some of the most shocking statistics on early marriages have a lot to do with the individual's overall health, physically and mentally. Studies show that those who get married before the age of 18 are subjecting themselves to a huge range of psychiatric disorders, and also increase the likelihood of severe physical illness. Physically, women open themselves up to a 23% greater risk of disease onset, such as heart attack, diabetes, stroke, and cancer. Now, this is probably due to the stress that women put themselves under, just because the chance of divorce is a lot higher when you get married younger. Also, there's a 41% increase in the prevalence of psychiatric disorders, all of which include, but aren't limited to, mood or anxiety disorders such as bipolar disorder, depression, and panic disorder. Those are typically the most common found in women of those who marry young. The most frightening aspect of women's health in early marriage is the damage done to her by her own spouse. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, women aged 16 to 24 experience the highest rates of violence at the hand of their spouses. At that point, it's really difficult to get out of a relationship like that. And not all domestic violence charges are reported. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but I really just have one question for you guys. Is that really what you want? I mean, is it really worth it to not wait and to just rush into it? I don't really think so. Instead, there's some other stuff that you could be spending your time and energy on. I found this on a blog and I thought that it was really, really cool. 1. Get a passport. 2. Find your thing. 3. Make out with a stranger. 4. Adopt a pet. I've done that twice. 5. Start a band. 6. Make a cake. Bake a second cake. Have your cake and eat it too. 7. Get a tattoo. It's more permanent than marriage. 8. Explore a new religion. 9. Start a small business. 10. Cut your hair. 11. Although I don't recommend this to some people, date 2 people at once and see how long it takes to blow up in your face. Not for me, but whatever. 12. Build something with your hands. 13. Accomplish a Pinterest project. Join the Peace Corps. 15. Disappoint your parents. 16. Watch the show Girls over and over and over again. 17. Eat a jar of Nutella in one sitting. Next, make a stranger feel uncomfortable in public. It's actually kind of fun. 19. Sign up for CrossFit. Next, write your feelings down in a blog. And last of all, be selfish. Do something for yourself. Live the rest of your life for yourself, not for other people. Basically, guys, don't rush it. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if you're gonna be together forever, isn't it worth the wait?